Well, it is my absolute pleasure to be part of this group and to present to you, because my biggest mission, my biggest why, is to help as many people as possible release pain and increase their physical function, and to do that effectively, efficiently, and have long-lasting results. Now, I train people who work on the end user, but every once in a while I get roped into doing something where anybody can benefit from self-help techniques. And today I want to show you something that is really helpful for neurology. And in fact, I kind of forgot about it. Some of you know, about 4 months ago, I suffered a really traumatic injury. And I was sent home carrying my arm around and said, yeah, you're not going to need surgery. It'll get better, whatever. And this just wasn't quite satisfactory for me. And I tuned muscles. So I asked my body what muscle to switch on. And I tried to activate it, do it by itself, but I would do a little tune up. And I was so excited when I could feel the impulse go through. And then the next day it was able to raise 10 degrees. And then after, about 3 days, it got higher and higher without me having to do it, because I switched that muscle on. And by doing that one, it invited a bunch of its friends to start working. And so I've just been progressing with that. And I'm now a result. I work on people doing this all the time, but now I'm kind of a poster girl for holy cow, it works. So I have something really, really powerful to share with you today. Some of you have seen it, but I am going to give you a little bit of the why, because I think when you know the why, you go, oh, it's not just a weird thing. Now, I like to change the word weird to unconventional for some people. I kind of love the woo-woo aspect of it. I used to think it was derogatory, and now I think, yeah, no, not so much. That pretty much describes it. It's like, woo. So who knows that you can give yourself the effect of a full body massage by rubbing points on your ear? I can't quite get the whole gallery up here when I'm presenting, but Madalena, tell me, are there people putting their hands up with, yeah, I know that you can give yourself a kind of the effect of a whole body massage by doing stuff for your ear. Does anybody know that yet? No, right? Okay, so I'm showing you, let me just make it look a little bit prettier here. In a minute, I'm going to be having you rub the whole outer edge of your ear and doing this technique that Hans just loves calling the ear pull technique. And just notice there's this landmark, this little pointy bit where your ear attaches to your skull. There's that, it's called the tragus. Right behind it, there's really a great spot for working with shoulder and neck. And this general technique really helps take a lot of tension out of your neck so you can turn and function better. The next thing I want to tell you about, do you notice there's a body kind of in there? It's called a homunculus. And it says that if you want to work with different part of your body, that this zone is a reflex area to work on that part of the body. And a reflex is something that works at a distance. So it's like, wow, how is it that when I pull and work in here, that it's doing something for my shoulders, which is down here? And that's just how reflexes work. And I'm not going to give you a whole lecture on that. And who else has heard about acupuncture? Right? A lot of people have heard of acupuncture, correct? So what happens when they put a needle in a very specific area? It is activating a point that is on a meridian that communicates with a meridian pathway that communicates with internal organs and glands. Now, how would you like to get the benefits without needles? Anybody game on that? So the next thing that we want to know is that there was a really great French acupuncturist who specialized on doing acupuncture just on the ear. And he would stimulate the points on the ear while, let's say you had an issue with your shoulder, he would have you activate your shoulder stuff while he activated the relevant acupuncture point. So the acupuncture and acupressure are similar. Reflexology is similar, but different. So things kind of line up, but they're not always the same. But the fact of the matter is, I want to tell you that there's lots of empirical and some scientific knowledge behind the crazy thing I'm going to show you. Now, here is, when we work with these ear things, we're activating some very important neurology that monitors where you are in space. And did you know that when you turn your head, certain muscles switch on? So it's going, hey, we're going to go in that direction. So it facilitates muscles to help you do that, but it has to tell other muscles to relax. Because if this muscle, let's say you want to lift up your fork, if this muscle is contracting and this one's contracting, you're never going to get that fork near your mouth. You need one to work while the other one relaxes. So these very important postural necks, reflexes, they're dynamic reflexes, postural reflexes, a lot of them work with things going on in your brainstem and in your neck, has a lot to do with your eyes, has a lot to do with the turn of your head. So like Nogier would say, let's activate an acupuncture point while you activate the problem area. What we're going to do now is activate the muscles of the neck and upper shoulder while we do this technique. And if you have tension there, it's going to go away. Give me a second. Now, this is a twofer. So I'm channeling my inner cowboy from Canada, or is it from Southern United States, Central United States somewhere? A twofer is something where you do one thing and you get a secondary benefit. Now, this is kind of a tongue-in-cheek little thing, but it really represents pulling on the ear literally can help you listen more carefully. And not only that, but remember what's being said. Would that be helpful for you, your kids, your spouse? Don't you remember what I told you? Pull on your ears next time, you'll remember. So this is really, really interesting. And if you can't do this technique for yourself, you can always invite a friend to do it for you. So who's keen to experience this? Some of you for the first time. Okay, we got some hands up. Fantastic. So this is in muscle tuner land, we call this the neck tension release technique. So let's all take a measurement before we begin, because this is very important for your neurology to put pieces together. If you can, without harming yourself for the rest of what I ask you to do today, please take responsibility for yourself. What's it like if you turn your head one way and notice how far you can go? And do you feel any tension? And return your head to center, turn your head the other way. Notice how far you can go. And are you noticing any tension? Good. Now, just keep note of that. And I'm going to invite you to pull on your ears. Now, there's a specific way to do it. If you want to just hear better and remember things better, just go willy-nilly and start pulling on your ears. Now, let me take my earbud out. Let me take this one off. You want to go to the curled up part of the ear and you want to unroll it. Do you see how I'm unrolling? And you want to pull, and you want to do that all the way along. And you want to pause here for a second opposite this little pointy guy. Do that one extra good, because that's the body part for the shoulders. And then keep going all the way down to your earlobe. Now, if you're doing this, like I said, just sitting still, your head straight, and you're pulling and you're rubbing and you're unrolling the curled up parts, and you go from the top to the bottom about 3 times, this will really, really help you listen to what people are saying, but also understand the messages that are being told to you. I did this for a friend that used to go to network events every morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, and she never, ever got a new customer until the day after I did this for her. She says, "Oh, I finally heard that somebody needed the services of a chartered accountant." And she says, "Come to think of it, I think I've heard people do that, but I was never able to respond because I couldn't process it in the moment." So how many opportunities are you missing out on because you're not hearing them, right? Can I have a show of hand? Ever you've gone home and you go, "Oh, I really missed a chance to say something, respond a different way. Now, if you have tension in your ears, tension in your neck, this is the technique is, let's say we're going to all turn our heads to the right. You're going to do this by activating the ear on the right. So let's everybody do that together. Turn as far as you can, keep your body straight and just your head turn. I want you to start at the top of your ear and rub, unroll, and pull. Go back to the top when you're ready, roll, pull, and you're going to start noticing your ears are starting to feel nice and pink. And make sure you spend a good chunk of time there across from that little triangular ear flap thing. Make sure you don't go too fast past there and get all the way down to the earlobe. Ladies, if you're wearing earrings, you may need to take your earrings out to get the fullest effect. Now, 3, 4, 5 times, that's good. Turn your head to the center. Please pause. It's pretty good for your nervous system to go, okay, we're back to center. Now, look the other way and do the same thing on the other way. And I'll also say if you have a shoulder issue, you can do the flamenco motion, which is the ole. So, for example, you just reach over, and so you turn your head and you do the same action. You can use your left hand when you turn left, or you can reach over your head and activate that with the right. Or you can invite somebody to do this for you as you're sitting, or if you're a therapist and you are working on a massage table, you just stand or sit at the head of the table and you can do this. How good does that feel? Is it feeling nice and pink now? You pulling, you tugging, you unrolling? Okay, relax everything, look back to center. Now, let's take another measurement because this is where your brain goes, oh, that was cool. Please turn your head to the right and notice if you're getting a few more degrees of turn, or notice if you have less tension when you turn. Look the other way. Notice if you're getting a few extra degrees and kind of like shrug your shoulders around. Okay, can I have a show of hands, please? Does that feel a little bit better for anybody? Hands will always put his hand up. Okay, well done. So just remember that if you want to get the tension out, turn that way. And if a lot of the tension's not gone, great, getting some nice comments in the chat. Thank you, people. Do it again. Just, you know, sometimes we've been carrying this thing around our ears for so long. You might want to do that a couple of times to really do it, to get it at it thoroughly. And remember to rinse and repeat. Now, I've had people who took a $350 workshop with me many moons ago. And before I understood what this technique did, it was just like, just do it. It's good for you. It's good for like when you start a class, get everybody to rub their ears so that they'll hear what you're teaching. But one woman was just like, whoa. And I went, what? And she says, that was worth the whole price of admission. I have never felt that relaxed. So if you would like the sensation of a full body massage, really get in there and put your thumb in a little bit further and give that a little massage. Now, who wants to know something else that I can share? We got a few head nods. Yay. Great. I'm happy to do that for you. I happened to find this postcard the other day and I went, oh, right. How many of us have got lower body pain, lower back pain? And this is a postcard that we make available to our customers, and they can put their contact information on there and, you know, put other stuff on the back as a way of promotion. But isn't that interesting? How many people walk around? I think the statistics was staggering. The other day, somebody looked it up. It was over 70% of the people in North America have got lower back pain. And a lot of it's unresolved. Now, the issue is a lot of times we work where the pain is, but that's not necessarily what's causing the issue. Usually what happens physiologically is your back muscles are trying to hold you upright so you don't slump forward. That makes sense to everybody? So what if, who here has trouble tuning up their tummy muscles? They know they could probably use a little help with the tummy muscles. And come Christmas time, wouldn't it be nice to tone this up a little bit so we can fit into last year's clothes? So I'm going to show you an activity that's really fast and easy to do. I still have about 3 minutes at least, right? Whoever's the timekeeper? Yes, good. I'm just going to. Sorry if the sound is not so perfect. But you could be sitting in your chair. I'm just going to stand up to give you the demonstration. You have the abdominals that come up. You have abdominals that go this way, and you have abdominals that go that way. So what we want to do is activate them before we do something, and then we'll check it again. So as you're sitting there, it's really great to actually do this sitting down. But if you do stand up, it might be a bit more challenging. It really doesn't matter, but sitting down is great because you can really focus on these muscles. So just gently cross at your wrists, put your fingers on your shoulders, and bend forward about 45 degrees. Don't go down too far. And straighten up. Oh, and by the way, check into any pain or discomfort you have in your lower back. Just take a number. 0 is no pain, 10 is a lot. What we're going to do is we're going to activate these muscles at least 3 or 4 times. And then the next time you go down, you're going to turn one shoulder forward or towards the ground, and you're going to sit up and straighten up at the same time. So forward, twist, sit up and untwist. Forward, twist, untwist and sit up. Now down, twist on the other side and straighten up again. And do you notice if it feels a little uncoordinated or you're having a hard time figuring out where you are in space? Those muscles aren't firing properly. The next activity we're going to do is bend forward and twist, but instead of sitting up, just go off on an angle. Push back on the angle. You're activating different abdominals doing this. Is that easy or not? Bend forward, turn the other shoulder down towards the floor, and push yourself as you sit up on an angle. Go on an angle. Okay, so if any of those were feeling a little iffy for you, you're going to love this technique. Inside of your thigh, as you're sitting on your chair, you can do both sides at the same time. Give it a really good, firm rub. Now remember, a reflex is something that has an action somewhere else. So go ahead and do both sides. And you want to activate this for at least 30 seconds. Now, the other thing is this muscle is connected to the small intestine. So if you have digestive difficulties, this can help your small intestine absorb and assimilate food more easily. How great would that be? Now, if you're doing one side at a time, make sure you do the next. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit because I'm assuming most of you have been doing this one at a time. Take a deep breath. Now, let's get your brains woken up to the fact these muscles should be firing better. Hopefully they are. Bend forward, sit up. Bend forward, sit up. Now, this may be subtle, but your brain has gotten the message that this is easier. Tip the one shoulder down, sit up and straighten up. Bend forward, tip the shoulder forward, straighten up. Bend forward, tip shoulder, sit up straight. Now we're going to do the opposite side. Other shoulder down, sit up straight. Bend down, shoulder down. I don't know about you, but I can feel I'm not wobbling around trying to figure out where I am in space on that one now. Bend forward, twist, and go sideways on an angle. Remember to breathe. Do that about 3 times and carefully set yourself up again. Twist the other way, sit up on an angle. And there you go. That is called a tummy tuna. It switches on your abs. It supports your small intestine. And if you had discomfort in your lower back, how does that feel now? So can I get a thumbs up if anybody had a positive outcome? And I'm just going to go through the screenshots here. Keep your hand up. So we had some people that felt a change. And whether you felt a change or not, I can guarantee you your small intestine is going to say, thank you. I have one more little thing I want to mention to you. And that is that I've kindly been invited to present to the Open Network. And I was supposed to give a little shout out that I've been invited to do an introduction to muscle tuning event hosted by Your Holistic Academy online on December the 5th. And if you'd like to go to the landing page to see all that I'll be covering, it's a different stuff from today. It is a paid event. You will get a handout and you will always have support from me forever. You're welcome to attend if you are somebody who wants to turn on 8 key muscles of your body with a generalized approach, and or if you're a therapist, to learn a few tricks that you can then share into your clinics. If you want to go to the landing page, are you familiar with Bitly? You just go to browser bar and you type in bit.ly/ and it is case sensitive, capital YHA 22, and it'll bring you to a landing page to get more information. And like I said, anybody I train, I am always totally open for people to say, hey, I've got a question, because I hate being left in a lurch when I need help. So thanks very much for having me. Any questions if we have time for